Can you play Mridanga? What? You do? Okay. Nirkeshri is there. He can play Mridanga. Yeah, get him. Jaya Radha Madhava Gunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janna Vallabha Giri Varadari Jaya Jaya Gopi Janna Vallabha Giri Varadari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajana Ranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya 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 Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parida-charya Saraswati Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parida-charya Saraswati Śrīmad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi ki Jai Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki Jai Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi All glories to the assembled devotees All glories to the assembled devotees All glories to the assembled devotees All glories Sri Guru Gauranga Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Today morning we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 7, Chapter number 2, entitled Hiranyakashipu, King of the Demons. Text number, is it text? 22? Yeah, 22. Nitya Atma Vyayaya Suddha Nitya Atma Vyaya Suddha Sarvaga Sarvavitpara Date Savatmano Lingam Mayaya Vishtrajan Gunan Nitya Atma Vyaya Suddha Sarvaga Sarvavitpara Andate Savatmano Lingam Mayaya Vishtrajan Guna Nityatma Vya Suddha Sarvaga Sarvavitpara Date Savatmano Linga Mayaya Vishrajan Guna Nityatma Hida Suddha Sarvaga Sarvavitpara Satma Lingam Nityatma Vaya Suddha Sarvaga Sarvavitpara Adesatmano Lingam Mayaya Vishrajan Guna. Mataji's. Nityatma Vaya Suddha Sarvaga Sarvavitpara Rate Savatmano Lingam Mayaya Vishrajan Guna Nityatma Veya Suddha Sarvaga Sarvavitpara Rate Savatmano Lingam Mayaya Vishrajan Guna Atma Vaya Suddha Sarvaga Sarvavitpara Dade Savatmano Lingam Maya Vishrajan Guna Nityatmaya Suddha Sarvaga Sarvavitpara Dade Savatmano Lingam Mayaya Vishrajan Gunam. Okay. Word to word meaning Nitya, eternal. Atma, spirit soul. Avyaya, inexhaustible. Shuddha, with no material tinge. Sarvaga, qualified to go anywhere in the material or spiritual worlds. Sarvavit, full of knowledge. Paraha, transcendental to material conditions. Date, accepts. Asau, that Atma or living being. Atmanaha, of the self. Lingam, a body. Maya, by the material energy. Vishrajan, creating. Gunan, various material qualities. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The spirit soul, the living entity, has no death, for he is eternal and inexhaustible. Being free from material contamination. He can go anywhere in the material or spiritual worlds. He is fully aware and completely different from the material body. But because of being misled by misuse of his slight independence, he is obliged to accept subtle and gross bodies created by the material energy, and thus be subjected to so-called material happiness and distress. Therefore, no one should lament for the passing of the spirit soul from the body. Purport. Hiranyakashipu very intelligently described the position of the soul. The soul is never the body, but is always completely different from the body. Being eternal and inexhaustible, the soul has no death. But when the same pure soul desires to enjoy the material world independently, he is placed under the condition of material nature and must therefore accept a certain type of body and suffer the pains and pleasures thereof. This is also described by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 13:22. Karanam gunasangasya sad asad yoni janmaishu. The living entity is born in different families or species of life because of being infected by the modes of material nature. When conditioned by material nature, the living entity must accept a certain type of body which is offered by nature under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshu arjuna tishtati. Brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudani maya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities, who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. Bhagavad Gita 18:61. The body is just like a machine, and according to the living entity's karma, he is offered a particular type of machine to move here and there under the control of material nature. This continues until he surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mam eva hi prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Until he surrenders, the conditioned soul is carried from life to life by the arrangement of material nature. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Sakshur Unmilitamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Shudadevi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Seeking a blessing of all assembled Vaishnavas. Speak from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Hiranyakashipu, king of the demons. This is the title of the chapter. Pretty much is like the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's like contrasting to that, It's like very clear who is this personality is. Hiranyakashipu, king of the demons, It's like... this is there in the material world, It's like, even if you are good, you have to be on the top. Even if you are bad, you have to be the best bad. You like? Because it's like, they're both are the same, two sides of the same coin. Attraction or repulsion is always inflate your false ego, in one sense. Because you always want the attention. If you are on the top of the ladder, you seek attention. If you are bottom of the ladder, you will seek attention. You understand? So, even that's why if you see, they'll give you like in a film or something, they'll give you the best villain award. It's like, you are the villain, but you are the best. You are the hero, you are the best. So, but the worst part is, if someone doesn't recognize our position, that is the most painful situation. So like loneliness, Someone, you are there, but you are actually not there. Or you are not recognized. Maybe, people think that you are in invisible mode. This is what Krishna did to Brahma, actually. When Brahma did that, took away the boys and the calf, Krishna ignored him, actually. That is more painful than you acknowledging that if someone tells you, you're bad, you're not good, then at least you have that feeling, okay, some recognition is there. But someone didn't recognize anything, that is really test for everyone. So here we see Hiranyakashipu, king of the demon. Pretty much, Hiranyakashipu looks like he has read Bhagavad Gita, especially the second chapter. Nityam Shashvato, Purano, what is it? Sarvagata. He is quoting all the Bhagavad Gita words. Second chapter, if you read from second chapter, the Atma Tattva section, where Krishna is giving the knowledge about the soul, looks like, Hiranyakashipu would have attended a dropout person of their school or something. He is talking about clearly the characteristics of the soul. What it is made of. This is like 3 stages of a spirit soul. In this verse we can see. He's talking about the situation where, okay, the soul is pure, is all good, is the best, is never ending, inexhaustible, eternal, is present everywhere, is free from material contamination. So he is fully aware and completely different from... So he is having a complete knowledge of what the spirit soul in his original position actually. right? It's like someone who knows that rainwater is pure. Yes, rainwater is pure, that's no problem. And then he is talking about how this soul getting entangled into this material world, which is also good, second stage. The soul is pure, the soul is good, it is fantastic, and then it is coming in contact with material nature, right? Because of his misled by the misuse of his slight independence, he is obliged to accept subtle and gross body. So this is one of the prayers we actually offer in worshipping of the deities. Is called Bhuta Suddhi. That means purifying your gross and subtle body before you worship. You pray that I am the eternal servant of Krishna, some or other I've been fallen into this material condition, I'm thinking that I am this material body made out of gross and subtle. Please, engage. Like, we offer a small prayer in the worship, saying that what you are, what is your position, how badly you are stuck here, and what you wanted, some or other, some great fortune, I've been engaged in the service of your Lordship by the mercy of my spiritual master, right? So, yes, the soul is pure. The second part of this, the translation or the speech by Hiranyakashipu is saying how it has been entangled, which is good. The only part is missing is, which is Prabhupada writes in the purport here, how that soul which is pure got into entanglement, how can that soul go back or revive his original consciousness or reinstated in original position? How is that possible? That part is missing, right? So basically people know, yes, if you speak to anyone, yeah, I'm not this body, I'm a soul. People learn, yeah, I know this, in India, from Vedic culture, everyone know I am Atma, yes, I am Atma, yes, and I am the spirit soul. I know these all are living entities. Pretty much everyone can connect to that level. And then they know this, this place is not very much pleasurable, even though we're trying to find some kind of happiness. But the material nature is giving hard time in terms of our own body, we can take it. The body is given to the degree of how much accumulation of your prarabdha karma. So whatever action you perform, right? Whatever activities you perform, you get reaction, whether good or bad. You cannot stop acting. Your nature is to do something. You cannot be idle, right? So you have to do something. So if you do something, then you have to get back, you have to get the reaction. As you sow the seed, you reap of the result. So you accumulate your reaction and you get the body. So the whole sum of your karma is what you got. You can see in front of your mirror. That's your accumulation of karma, in one sense. So, point is, the soul getting entangled. I also forgot the point. Why I was told this Kali Yuga. But anyway, see, coming to that, the soul is pure, but then getting entangled into the body. We cannot choose our body. We cannot choose how we wanted, where we want to take birth, which family, which country, which place, which species. This is not in our control. But we got this body, so now we want to make sure that we don't want many bodies. When it comes to material body, there are many varieties. But when it comes to spiritual body, there is only one body, which is the original spiritual Satchit Ananda, full of knowledge, full of cognition, eternal, and it has a form. Now how to get that back? That is, Krishna is saying, that very difficult to overcome. This independence which we have, which we are trying to enjoy separately from Krishna, or we want to enjoy this body, it is so powerful actually. It is so powerful. If you really see our whole, before coming to Krishna consciousness, or even when we are coming to Krishna consciousness, this very heavy gel is there, like kind of like imagine, if you have a band, a rubber band, like if someone put your hand and then they put the band on top of it. If you have one band, then you can easily snap it, right? Imagine they keep putting the bands, 1, 2, 3, 4, or something like that. So many rubber bands. Then even if you want to push away, it immediately come back, right? Similarly, the soul is a different material, and then the body is different material, and then this gel is there, which is false ego, or the subtle body, mind, intelligence, false ego, which act like a very strong, sticky substance actually. The moment we want to enjoy the body in different way, then what happened? The modes act on us. The 3 modes act on us. Prabhupada, Krishna also saying in Bhagavad Gita 13:22, Karanam guna sangasya sad asad yoni janmeshu. The moment we want to control, then what happens? The modes take over. And these modes are not easy to overcome. Passion. This world is, if you see, mostly 99% is the place, is a karma bhumi, is passionate. So much passion. And what is the quality of passion? Sorry? Ignorance. That is another one. So what is the quality of goodness? How do you know someone is in goodness? Sattva guna. How do you know? Yeah, peace, calm. What is the quality? What is we can say that someone, yes? Aradhya. Sorry? Okay, they find a good way in all the situation. What are they? They're calm and happy, okay. Their knowledge, yeah, thank you. The 2 qualities which Krishna says is that by knowledge and happiness. They have certain kind of jnana. This is not about spiritual knowledge. This knowledge is like they can discriminate what is good, how can I avoid this suffering, what is good and what is bad. Oh, I don't want to do this. Someone in says, no, this is too much. I don't want to do this because so much consequences will come. No, it better be I'm happy with 9 to 5 job, I do my thing, Be good, do good, happy. And then kind of happiness because they feel superior to others. The sense of happiness comes from superiority complex. I am better than others, see this guy, Look at him. Right, you understand? Their happiness is kind of sense of, so that's how they get into entanglement because pride comes. So I'm better than others. Be good, do good, moral ethics is all about, how you kind to others and everything. Then why they're doing? Because they feel the discrimination. They feel others are bad. They don't want to, mingle. They don't want to, because they feel that, I'm good, what I'm doing. I'm in my own shell. Don't knock it. Don't come inside. I will not come outside. I'm in my bubble. So they are so happy. What happened? Death comes. Or some relatives who they are very much, are affectionate lover, they pass away. or some disease come, material nature won't leave you, like it's not like a constant, okay, you are fixed, you are goodness, that's it, end your life with goodness. No. Then comes passion. What is the quality of passion? Sorry? Rajas, yes. What is the quality of passion? Desire, unlimited desires, yes. Hankering, too much on the plate. Yeah, next. Then? Lust, thank you. We have some schoolmates from Prahlad here. Good. Lust, attraction towards opposite sex, yeah? This is the driving force. The driving engine is attraction, kama. This is lust. Because of the passion, attraction is there. You do everything and then you do too much. Multitasking. Do many things. Do that, do this, running here, there. Why? So that you can attract, then you can have the prestige. Prabhupada writes in the purport, like all the cycle. Why the person is hard working. Fame comes, but then why? Because you have a prestige in the society, a status. I have a beautiful car, I have a beautiful house, I have a beautiful family. Then work hard. Then ignorance. What is the quality of ignorance? Lazy, yeah.
Madness.
Huh? Madness, inertia, like laziness, dull, intoxication. So basically, if you read the section of the last 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, you will know the symptom, what one needs to do, what is the result of the action, who is doing, how he is doing, what is his determination, what is his happiness, what is his knowledge, what are the qualities, what happens if the person die in that. So full detail, from the start to the end, why it is given, so that we know at least which mode we are in. Don't worry about others. we think, this is Bhagavad Gita is given for you, Prabhu. No, this is for me. It's like, this book distribution we give. You read this book, very nice. Have you read? No, this is only for distribution. Prabhupada used to did that, the one problem with my disciple like that, they used to imitate. He did this imitation, this distribute. This is the book, Bhagavad Gita, this is for you. Then if they ask, have you read? No, I have not read, but this is for you. So at least when we read Bhagavad Gita, these chapters, this about material nature, this is a jnana section full of knowledge, right? So there are different kinds of knowledge in Bhagavad Gita if you see. There's kind of knowledge which talks about you are not this body and soul. Then there's a kind of knowledge which talks about how the soul got entangled in this material nature and how can get liberated. And there is a certain kind of knowledge which talks about Krishna, or which talks about the spiritual world, or it talks about something which will enhance our devotional service, which will enhance our bhakti. Because if you gain knowledge to perform bhakti, that is better. But if you perform bhakti to gain knowledge, that becomes jnana yoga. So knowledge is good. So Prabhupada writes also, philosophical speculation is good. Philosophical speculation, sometimes we condemn mental speculation, philosophical speculation. But our last, if you say the jnana section, or understanding the material nature, how this body works, how this whole universe works, how everything works, for that philosophical speculation is good if the conclusion ends in Krishna. It's like you have to come to the temple and if you are in the city, right? If you know you have to go to the city, you can go by many ways. You can walk, you can cycle, or you can come by tram, bus, or train, or lift, Uber, whatever way. You figure it out, the ways and everything, which road, which way to go, like that. But then you end up in the temple, it's good, right? So that's kind of philosophical speculation, because if ultimately you want to get liberated this soul from this entanglement of the body and attain the lotus feet of Krishna, and if that knowledge help you to find your way through that and end the conclusion, then that speculation, that philosophical speculation is good. But if that philosophical speculation ends in merging with Krishna or impersonal understanding or Brahman, then that becomes problem. That's where the subtle difference comes, So here, the third part, which is the first one, we talk, okay, the soul is pure, the soul is all good. Krishna explains, soul is eternal and the body is endurable. Is that right? Endurable. Is that right? Undurable or endurable? Endurable, thank you. Immutable. So it's like the endurance or the tolerance level of the body. You cannot preserve the body, or you cannot stop the body changing its shape or form, whatever. You cannot do that. So basically, we think the other way. We want this body to be eternal. We think this body is eternal. But that is not true. Krishna says, anything which is matter, which is not going to last long. Sorry. But anything is spirit, it's going to be there. There is no change. Because we think when the body, we see that the body is changing. The matter is going through the 6 changes. Right? The matter is going to the 6 changes. But the soul is never changing. It is eternal. It is situated in its position. It's not going to change. But then we want to preserve this body. We want to, as long as we can drag, as long as many years, we're trying to say, this body is so precious. No, you cannot. Sorry, this is the problem. Arjuna is thinking, oh no, Bhishma, oh Drona, oh all these people, I'm not going to kill them. So Krishna is saying, first of all, you see, you are not the killer and the soul cannot be killed. You are not the killer and the soul cannot be killed. And then Krishna is saying, just because you are not fighting or killing them, you are not going to stop them dying. Just because you are not taking part in this war, you think that you are going to preserve the body of Bhishma or Drona? Are they not going to go through the 6 changes? No. Then Krishna is saying, okay, fine. Say if you think, okay, Krishna also argue the other way. If at all, if you think the soul is not there, the soul is going to finish along with the body, the Buddhist philosophy or the Lokaitas, right? Krishna, Prabhupada writes also in couple of, that time only it exists. There are so many philosophies. Then why you are worrying to just draining some chemicals? Like if you are doing a dishwashers or something, and you put some dishwasher and washing, you don't get lament, oh, all the chemicals are going in the drain. So much valuable chemicals, come on. If you think that body and the soul, nothing is there, soul is not there, body is there, then why you are lamenting? Why you are worrying? Because just a chemical, made out of chemical, Krishna is saying. So in all the way, do not lament. And just do your duty. Just do your duty. Krishna says, you might have developed some kind of affection and attachment to that body. That is nature. Like we have seen certain person, we know he is not the body, he is a soul, but then we have related that person with that particular form or that body. It's like, you might say, everything matter, what is the value, but then you buy a phone. As long as the phone is in the counter, you don't have anything, oh, that's phone, that's okay. But then once the phone comes into your hand, you feel a connection, which is no more than a display phone. You think, oh, this is very good, like, sometime if you lose the phone, your day is spoiled. Where did I leave the phone, where I kept, Your full consciousness, your full absorption in that only. Where I go there, where I go there. Isn't it? Because you develop some kind of attraction, attachment to that matter. It's just a phone. Imagine if that matter starts speaking. It's a person then. You develop some kind of, that's what Arjuna is saying. Oh, Krishna, yes, I know this is not the body, this is a soul. But then this Bhishma, this Drona, these people all there, I know them in this body. What to do with that? Krishna says, tolerate. You can't do anything. Material nature, the body is going to change. You just have to tolerate. If you tolerate this attachment, not developing any attachment, if you tolerate this, then you are eligible for liberation. Krishna is saying. Because why? knowing that this body is not going to last, knowing that the soul going to pass to the next body, knowing that you are a sober person, if you tolerate this, all this happiness and distress, all this bodily change, everything, you can easily elevate to liberation. Because you're not entangled to the body. You understand, okay, these are all temporary. So here, the third thing which is missing, Krishna is saying, and what is the material nature? Okay, fine. When we see, when we get the body, we entangle. What is the problem? The soul getting entangled into gross and subtle body. What does the material nature do?
Imprisons the soul.
Sorry?
It imprisons the soul.
Imprison the soul. Okay, what else? The material nature. What does the material nature do? What is the three modes? What the Maya does actually to the? It creates suffering. Okay. It covers and beats you down. Okay. Anything else? Separates us from Krishna. So basically nothing good for us. That's the bottom line. Basically, whatever it beats you, it covers you, it makes you into illusion, delusion, entangle, suffering. It's called pavarga. If you say pavarga, there is one Sanskrit consonants are there. Pa, ba, ma. Yeah. First is, parishram. It's like, hard struggle. Work hard. This body, with entangled material, it's not going to be easy. Isn't it? It's like trying to find an oasis in the desert. If you are in the desert, you are thirsty, you want some water is required. So you need to work hard like that to get some drop of happiness. Then what happens? Next comes the foam. It's a hard work, foam. Then comes bandhan. Bandhan means entanglement. It's obvious because if you see, you are working hard for something, what is the probability that you don't want to enjoy the result of this work? If you are putting your whole endeavor, if you're putting your time, if you're putting your energy, if you're putting your blood, sweat and pulse, whatever, into that activity, and then obviously it's a natural thing that, I want something out of that. So we want to get entangled. That's how the entanglement starts. The cycle, actually, the network of entanglement, how it works is, we want to enjoy the result of the activity. Right? Then we get affected. Of course, when we offer the result, that becomes a karma yoga. That is the starting of the yoga ladder. We start giving some kind of result to the Supreme. So then bandhan. Then what happened? When you work hard, when you trying to enjoy the result, when you accumulated a lot, then what comes? Attachment, then? What is that next? When you have everything, when you are attached, when you are too much attached, what next? Fear. Fear, bhaya. See, it's not going to end. Like whatever we want, we work hard, we get, and everything, we get entangled, then comes fear of losing. What if it's gone? What is my security? What is my surety? What is my insurance policy? Where is my this, that, superannuation, everything, fear. Fear comes. Then what next is, last is mrityu. Death. Everything is taken away. See how it's logically, it's a perfect execution actually to make us realize that this is not the best plan. It's tough, but that's what So when we take into Krishna consciousness, it's called apavarga. Everything opposite. Fear becomes no more fear. Entangle becomes unentangle. Because we understand everything belongs to Krishna. Where is the question of owning us? Where is the question of renouncing? Right? And we are not attached to the result, because the efforts is when you do devotional service, we kind of basically derive happiness by serving. Right? That's how the devotional service is so superior in nature, because the person actually deriving happiness from the service, not from the result of any activity. By just engaging in the service, you get kind of happiness, which kind of bliss, which is not available in any other aspect of material world. It's not something you get it from work or some kind of philanthropic humanitarianism. This is something very subtle, just by engaging in devotional service. Like when you are participating in kirtan, when you are absorbing yourself in the holy name, in chanting, just cleaning something or serving, doing dishes, cooking, there's some kind of satisfaction is there. It is not considered as a material success, or it is not considered a success, because you are satisfied. That satisfaction is not available in whatever money, or it's not available in the market. Right? You can get all the gadgets, you can get all the things comfortable, make your life so happy, with a costly car or whatever, but you are not satisfied, you feel some kind of lacking. So that is what this devotional service is giving you, so you don't have any fear, you don't have any entanglement. Obviously, working hard for Krishna is a bliss. Right? When we have the, for example, when we have the festival, or when we have big gathering, devotees fast. Janmashtami, with thousands of people, everyone fasting so hard. We go to events or restaurant, wherever, service, it's hard, but then it's all vaporized. When we do the service, it's not like lingering in the mind, back of the mind, oh, such a hard, oh my God, why did I do like, I don't want to know. Yeah? It's all vaporized, that hard whatever, and in fact, you remember that and relish, that time, it was so hard, working hard, so nice. You relishing that memories. So something which is different, right? You don't want, like for example, you work very hard shift or something. You don't want to remember that. In your workplace, some hard boss were on top of you, yelling at you, ranting up, you did that. You don't want to remember. But then if you see some kind of, if you see the memories of Srila Prabhupada or something, Prabhupada chastised, they remember that. They actually glorify that, he corrected. And in fact, in the life of a devotee, that could be a turning point. If someone has corrected you, someone has pointed, someone has told you, Prabhu, you're wrong, you're doing this, you're not, you're not supposed to do this, you to do this. Then you may think, oh, this is, Krishna's mercy, and you'll actually grateful for that moment. So this is completely opposite when you take to Krishna consciousness. And this is how you can overcome material energy. There is no other way. Krishna is saying it's impossible to overcome. You got this body, you got this subtle body, you got this false ego, you got this mind. Each one are like big Hiranyakashipu. This mind is a demon, a false ego. This whole thing, the subtle, this material energy is working you down to pull you down. The Prabhupada said, we are declaring a war against Maya. So it's not an easy thing to save one soul. What is a profit, like if you have the whole world and you miss the soul? This Jesus said, right? If you can save if you're not able to save one soul, or if you're not able to save your soul, if you have the whole world, what is the benefit? Yeah. So to save to save ourselves, it's a whole team is working, right? It's a war. So we have to see how we can able to save just by surrendering Krishna. Krishna is saying, only by surrendering to me, only you come to me, I can relieve you, I can make you free. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. If you want to get free from this whole mess, if you want to free ourselves from this whole subtle game, if you want to free from of this body, just surrender to Krishna. That's it. We don't have to wreck our brains, we don't have to devise. It's already underground path is done in the jail, in the tunnel. You just have to use that tunnel and escape. You don't have to do anything, just surrender to Krishna, that's all. That part is missing in Hiranyakashipu's speech because he doesn't know that. You might be very much knowledge, you must be a great philosopher. So Prabhupada writes actually, the effects of the knowledge, the effect of the Vedic literature is not there because of Maya. So this Hiranyakashipu, even though he knows all this knowledge, all this great speaking, but then he couldn't able to put into practice, we weren't able to get that effect. So we should be able to, at least we don't know the first two, don't worry, just follow this. So when we are in Krishna consciousness, when we are surrendering ourselves to Krishna, at least for that moment, our soul is relieved or liberated from this bodily platform. If we can continue to do that, at the end of our life, we can able to go back to Krishna. Krishna is saying, if you think of me, if you worship me, if you do all these activities, at the end of the life, if you're thinking of me, then you can come to me. Krishna is saying clearly. So we just have to surrender without fear. Krishna is saying, do not fear, I will take care of all the sinful reaction. So Krishna is giving the guarantee, Krishna is giving the assurance, Krishna is giving the way, the path, everything. We just have to follow by the guidance of the devotees. The instruction of the spiritual master, they are there to guide us how we can able to follow this path, how we can able to implement the instruction of Krishna, how we can able to go back to the pure state. So the rainwater getting contaminated, we know we have the process of purifying the water back into original state. Let us participate, let us take part, let us go through this laboratory work, purify and go into this back, the original state. So I'll stop here, see if anyone has any question, comments or correction on what we discussed today.
Take riches or wealth into the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
Because then you can surmount all wealth and riches, but they will gain rust, they'll be stolen, and they'll be destroyed. But if you build up your riches in the kingdom of heaven, as in through your serving Krishna, then that wealth will never rust.
Yeah, we have to basically use everything in the service of Krishna. So that's the best way we can able to relieve ourselves from this entanglement. Good. Okay? Yes? We have a fan club for you, so please ask you a question in the mic.
You were saying that we get happiness when we're doing the service.
Yeah.
Not in the result of the service. But sometimes we see when we're making garlands or jewelry for the Lord, we get happiness when we're doing the service. But when the Lord honors it or He wears it, we get even more happiness in it. So how can we understand this?
So we it's like when the Lord honors it, that's a mercy. That's a perfection of the garland that reaches the Lord. And So basically continue the service. You're more happy, then do service. Then you get more happiness. Keep doing the service. It's a cycle. When we stop serving, that's where the problem comes. Right? So, and also we want to serve the devotees. Right? So most of the time we may not get chance to serve the Lord directly. Not all the time we can able to make garlands to the Lord. So, but if we want to continue the happiness, we can always serve the devotees. Right? There are so many devotees. And so we continue the service attitude, which is serving the devotees, even makes more the Lord happy. Even the Lord can be happy by seeing us serving the devotees. So yeah, continue to do garlands for the devotees also. You can do garlands for Prabhupada, right? You can do garlands for this, so many visitors come, you can make garlands, You can make garlands to all the senior devotees who are coming, So, n number of opportunities, right? Good. Thank you. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much for kindly tolerating and listening to Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. All glories to Sri Bodhis, all glories to Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnava प्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवम् साद्वैतं